Many students applying to various helping courses, programs, and careers are empathetic by nature, flexible, kind, and helpful. The ability to attune to others is a strength in these fields, yet some find themselves wondering whether their tendency to put others' needs before their own is truly a choice, or the result of a developmental path shaped by external demands. Some feel they have become too nice against their own will. How does one become nice by accident, and what can be done about it? Let's take a closer look. Helping is never entirely selfless. The helper often receives something in return, even if it's not immediately visible. This exchange can take place on many levels, reinforcing one's self of worth and continuity. Countless people have lived meaningful lives guided by an altruistic compass. At its best, helping is both a gift to the world and a form of personal salvation. In earlier times, such total devotion may have been easier to sustain. Life was often simpler, more predictable. Today, the balance between giving and receiving feels less stable. Modern life places the individual constantly on the market, evaluated by recent performance. Perhaps the negative connotations of being too nice relate to ignoring one's own interest in an increasingly transactional world. A person with an altruistic personality disorder cannot make it in a dog eat dog world without some self protective measures. The development of trick niceness. Many of us feel tricked into niceness, describe being people pleasing as a survival strategy learned in childhood, often in environments that were unpredictable or emotionally unsafe. A child may learn to read the emotional states of a parent in order to adapt. While some degree of attunement is normal, the critical question is the adult there for the child or the child for the adult? Even a baby may begin to work for the mother, trying to regulate a depressed caregiver. This creates a painful dilemma. Stay connected, but lose yourself, or express oneself and risk rejection. This dynamic is closely linked to anxious attachment and sometimes disorganized attachment. Over time, the child may internalize a belief: the other is good, I'm the problem. The child does not abandon the caregiver. Instead, the child may abandon him or herself. This is what Donald Winnicott described as the false self. When the mind turns against itself. Mental health is ultimately about the relationship one has with oneself. These early patterns can turn the mind into an internal critic. Excessive self criticism, chronic guilt, toxic inner dialogue. If one cannot receive acceptance from within, it must be sought from others, often without boundaries. This often translates to fawn response, or disease to please. Niceness as an ideal. For some, niceness is not only fear driven but also idealized. The desire to be good can become part of one's identity. Cultural, familial, and even ideological expectations may reinforce the idea that self sacrifice is morally superior. In such cases, inner pressure, I should be good, combines with external pull, others need me. This is one of the most powerful motivational systems in human psychology. Altruism as expectation. Helping others can become a core part of identity and eventually an expectation. Others may reinforce this role. You're always so helpful. Over time, saying no becomes to feel like a betrayal. This can lead to situations where the only perceived solution is escape, changing jobs, environments, or relationships. Boundaries and cost. Setting boundaries can often become at an emotional cost, especially guilt. But without boundaries, the cost may be the self. As therapist Nedra Glover Thabab notes, boundaries are like a muscle. They strengthen with practice. Even small changes can create significant shifts. A practical question. One useful framework is to ask, what do I need? What do I deserve? As psychiatrist Juhani Mattila suggests, to say no to others, you must first say yes to yourself. In closing, you came into this world alone and you will leave it alone. The world will not collapse if you stop carrying it on your shoulders.